Alright. WrestleMania 42 Night 1 concluded. Hope everyone's in good spirits. I'm gonna go over the matches and how wrong my predictions were or right my predictions were. For the most part, I got most of the match placements right, so I'm just gonna run through it and then yeah. Usos and LA Knight versus Speed in the Vision. I had the Usos and LA winning. They did. Drew versus Jacob. Jacob won. Then what I had going in was the first match to open it up was instead technically it would have been the third match, but it was really the fourth. So AJ versus Becky. I had AJ winning, Becky won. Then Bella's versus Charlexa, Bailey and Lara versus the Irresistible Forces. Either Irresistible Forces winning, but the Bellas won it because Paige subbed in for Nikki Bella, which I didn't see it come until I think it was like the day before, the night before. I seen the post about Paige coming back, and then I was like, "Geez, I wonder what match is she gonna pop up in." Then we got Seth versus Gunther. I had Seth winning because I was curious as to where Gunther's storyline went, but Gunther obviously won. I don't think he really needed Braun Breaker, but it was nice to see Braun Breaker at WrestleMania again. Then Stephanie versus Liv. I had Stephanie winning, but Liv won because teamwork made the dream work. Then we go into the main event: Cody versus Randy. I had Cody. No, I didn't have Cody. No, I not Cody won, but I had Randy winning. I am not done. That is not the end of this video. I'm gonna go on a small rant and end on a good note, real quick. Right? I understand everyone's displeasure with how everything went down. I'll say this: there were some matches, right, that should have been longer. There are matches outside of the main event that should have had blood. For example, not that I want to want people's heads to get busted open or nothing like that, but it's a non-sanctioned match. How is Randy and Cody Rhodes that bloody from a regular title match? A legal match with rules and stipulations, but the match with no rules and stipulations and toolboxes and everything, there's nobody bleeding. Is it an ESPN thing? I don't know. That I don't get it. Right? But anyway, so then for the women's matches should have been longer. I ain't gonna lie to you. Across the board. The what was that, the fatal 4-way tag match, that should have been longer. I understand they added Paige late to the program and everything and whatnot, but she could have sat out and let everybody else do what they needed to do to keep the stuff entertaining. I'm not too disappointed with the AJ Becky match because it was a good match. I enjoyed the match. As It wasn't bad. It was not a bad match. Stephanie and Liv, that match should have been longer. Stephanie wrestles longer than that. This is a woman that wrestled that defended the title, eh, two titles in one night in two separate matches. You telling me she couldn't have beat Liv Morgan? It's cool. Or the match, or she couldn't have kicked out at that point. It's fine. I don't have nothing really negative to say about the Usos. Like that match could have went. It could have went about 5 minutes longer, but Speed looked real good in that match. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I know he didn't have a whole lot of spots, but the spots that he did have, he nailed it. He didn't look sloppy. He didn't look like I'm. I'm gonna watch it again, but it didn't look like he missed anything up. It looked like he hit everything as perfect as, probably even better than a lot of some of the people on the roster, low key. But that's not the point. I want to say that's it for my rant. No, that's not it. There needs to be a shakeup in creative, because there's no way. Like the excitement for this WrestleMania was pretty low. Last year's was hype. The year before that was also pretty hype. Going into it, you was excited for more than just 2 or 3 matches. Like you're supposed to be excited for both night one and night two. You shouldn't like. Oh no, man. They need they need help. They might need Undertaker to like really come in and write some stories for SmackDown or something, because he's killing it on AAA. The NXT stand and deliver. I'm gonna make a bold statement. The recent NXT stand and deliver, right? The one, the NXT that everybody's saying is dead now because Oba and Trek and Javon aren't there. Listen, they're doing just fine. That stand and deliver was better than this night one WrestleMania 42. That's my hot take. Now, I'm gonna end this on a high note, on a good note, too. Congratulations to Bianca Belair. Now, her and Montez Ford, they could start their own royal family. You know what I mean? And Corey Graves needs to be arrested for what he did during that post show. He need not arrested, not arrested, fined. He needs to be fined. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's a joke. I just need WWE to report he got fined like $600. Something like maybe $50 fine. You need to get fined $50 for that. No, let's stay into this video. Hopefully, I am hoping and praying night two goes good. I already know I already got one of my predictions wrong for night two, and that is the old. I know Oba versus Brock is happening first, and then it goes into the ladder match. I'll also explain why I had that set up, because I didn't think it would have been fair for the ladder match to try and follow the energy of Oba and Brock. I thought it'd been better to build that energy, and then when we get to Oba and Brock, people go crazy, and then, you know, just like how I thought about the tag match. That's why I put the Usos and LA Knight versus Speed and Division first, going into Drew and Jacob. Because one, it was going to be that match was going to be that tag match was going to be entertaining no matter what. They needed more time, and I knew that Drew and Jacob match was going to well, it somewhat lived up to the hype. It didn't quite meet the standards of. I don't think it met everybody's standards, but it was a decent match if it was just a regular match, because it's a non-sanctioned match. Nobody got busted open. Like they pulled out toolboxes and tables and everything, a wrench and it. Like, come on, no blood. It's whatever. I'm over it. But that's the end of the video. I'll catch you guys at the next episode. Well, tomorrow for night 2.